Okay, so today I'm going to show you a few design. I guess you can say the history of the Wonder Bracelet. Now, these were my first designs. Right here. They're just a normal one. And these, it's just they were too long, so I just shortened them. You can see like a hat looking. And then for this one here, I did it just like that. Okay, so these are all the original, and I remind you, the original is the best one of them all. Okay, but I'll show you all different designs so you can see them. That's another one. Belongs to this pile. This one here, I just started to put heat shrink here to prolong this, because if you saw my other video, I'll link up here to test videos. They break right here. Long term, they will break right there because that's where the connection is. And the best way to wear these is to push it like this. Push it like that. Sneak it in your wrist and then twist it in like that. That's how you prolong the bracelet. Okay? Now, I've also done other design. I tried to cheat. I made just stainless steel wire, and then I wrapped the copper around here, and I stopped right here, and I left the coil there because I was thinking that I can make longer coil. There are a few people ask me if they can make longer coil. I wouldn't suggest that, because you have to learn how to regulate. And remember that word, I will use it a lot in my videos, regulate. So I designed those. I designed quite a few of them. I tried to cheat to go, a quicker route. That did not work. Okay? So for the people who wants to understand things or wants to experiment a little bit, this video is for you, because then you don't have to spend your time to experiment all around, because those, to be honest, truthfully, only a few of these things work like the original design. And as I stated, the original design is where you want to stick at. Okay? And the original design is very simple. It is just like that. Okay? Very simple. That's the original design. Okay? Although this is an upgrade version, but it's an original design. Those are all the originals. These were so old, and I've tested these. You can see the copper is so black. They've been tested so many times. I burnt a few. Though some of my original, actually, I burnt a few. So those are the best. Okay, so we got two out of the way. Then I went in creative, and I went this way, this route. I went and did that. Now I did a coil here, the smaller coil, and I did a bigger coil. This thing stays the same. That did not work. Okay? The reason why is that we're actually taking two things out of our body. This is too much. It didn't work. Didn't work too well. It worked, but it didn't work too well. So scratch that idea. If you're thinking about it, don't do it, okay? Well, that's up to you. I'll show you another one. I did this to my dog. Yup, I made a bracelet for my dog. Just a choker. And you can make one yourself, but eliminate this part, okay? And remember, you cannot touch this. So what you can do is, I'll show you in a minute. Let me talk about this first. So I did that the same way. But I coil this, and it's defeat the purpose. Okay? It did not work because he tried to get it off so many times. Look. He tried to pull it off so many times that I have to fix it, see? And he'll pull it off. He'll do it too. My dog. This is how, same thing with that, but you just can't touch it. So that was another design of mine. Instead of the line that goes here to here, I put it inside. So it's actually inside. And I put shrink tube in there so it won't touch. That also worked. But then you cannot touch this. So that defeat the purpose. Then I went further. I put shrink tube over it. That way, if you're out in the sun and stuff, it will work as well. Because then, you can hide it. And I'm going to do this version later on in another video. Okay? So basically, it is just this one here. Same just like that. Okay? I'll go slow so you can see. Same just like that. But put in a shrink tube. So literally, I just stretch it all out, put the shrink tube over here, heat it up, and now it will work because it won't touch your hands. The copper part no longer touch your hand or skin. So this is where you want it to be touched. Okay? So that's another possible version. But you can still see, still pretty big. But people won't know what it is. You know? But still, you still have to have this part touch your skin. This is just a protector. Remember that. Okay? Then, I went to on a creative mode. Oh, I forgot to show. That's the same one. And look. It touches my skin. So there's no point of doing it. Because remember, we cannot touch this part of our skin. We want this part to be touched. We want as best efficient as we can. Okay? So I went further. I went even more creative. I used a bracelet. And then I put this part inside so it will touch my skin. And then the other part, for instance, I put it on. And it's like that. So it's kind of leather. And then I just curl it here. A few people ask questions. Can I curl it? Yes, you can. You don't need shrink tube. Shrink tube is just making things easier. And I stated that in that video, the original video. You can curl it just like that right there. I poke it all the way in and I just curl it right there. Left it right there and cut it right there and all set. See? Same thing right here. Just curl it up. That way it won't hit you. As long as it doesn't hit your skin. As long as it doesn't rub your skin. As long as it doesn't, you know, make a scratch on your skin. Because I have a scar. I'll show you. Right there. That's from one of the tests that I didn't shrink tube. And that's lasts for months already. It was a huge scar. Because I wore it up here. So when I was outside, I wore it up here. And somehow it's scratched right there. So all you have to do is curl it into each other. And make a round thing. Whatever. Whatever it is to make it. So that way it doesn't hit your skin. Okay? Protect your skin and your eyes and everything else. Okay? So that was a better design. With the leather. And because they already have holes in here already, you just poke it through. So if you have one of these, you can do it just like that. Put it all along here, curl it up, and just curl onto itself. That's it. Everything's the same. This is the original design. It's just putting into the cuff instead. Okay? If you notice, I have a bunch of original design because that's the one that worked the best. Okay? Now, I have the baby version. The baby version, they're very small, as you can see. Okay? The little tiny baby version. And it actually works really good, and it works just like everything else. And yes, you can sleep in these. And if you want to, you can sleep in these. Okay? Now, we go to another version. This is the original design, just like the one that I had earlier. This actually have 40 coil. You notice how long it is comparing to the other original design. Okay? Short and long. Yes, you can make them long. But the thing is, if you make them long, you can only wear one or two. Here's another part. This is in the testing mode. And there's a magnet in here. There's a little magnet in here. Okay, that's a neo magnet. And the reason why I put it in here is that because I want it to remove faster. This will be for active. This is for people who are active. So if you, let's say you exercising. Hear that? It's because we want the magnet to pull out faster. Sort of like the motor. Remember my motor? I talk about them splitting. This magnet will help it to split. If you are a runner, if you exercise, that's what it does. I'll show you how to make that version later. It's pretty much the same thing, but I'll do a separate video on that. And look. So that way I can put all the parts and everything. Okay, so if you're a runner, I start running again. And then what I do is I put that magnet inside. And as you run, you're expelling. So whatever comes to here, although I did this little short, I would like to be a little longer. So next one I actually have to do it a little longer because I seal them pretty close. But it will work. But I would like it a little bit longer. Okay, so it can touch my skin a little bit more. And as other bracelet, just bend it like that. Put it in your wrist and twist it. And look when it's long. See how long it is? Because my skin is my wrist is pretty small. See how long that is comparing to this one. Let's say the baby version. This is my sleeping version. Make a note of that. That's a sleeping version. So when I go to sleep and I feel like I have a bunch of EMF or something is not right, I use this one because it's for sleeping. And it's about 15 rounds total. You can do 20, but really small. That's from a screwdriver. I'll show you that in another video. I'm going to make different ones so that way people can follow. Okay? Last but not least, I show that in my other video, but I'll show really close. This is actually the necklace version. I burned it to make sure that it's actually doing it right, but don't burn yours, okay? You don't need to, because I already done my homework already. You don't have to. Same principle, but I put it up here because I don't want this part to touch my skin, because remember, you can't touch your skin on that part. So another way is to get a big shrink tube and shrink over that. That would also work. And then you can then you don't have to worry. But that's kind of big. So on my next version, when I make the necklace version, I probably do 2 small ones. I'm going to try to find a way to do 2 small ones and then add on to this so I can have a necklace version so people can't see it. Like you can put over your sweaters or whatever, you know. And it's also good right here, right this part, because this part will touch your spinal cord, and that would help to get some of the EMF out of there too, and that would also work faster. Yes, it does work. It works actually extra fast. Also too, you can always make your own necklace. I mean bracelet, sorry. That was the necklace. This is the bracelet, and this is just a version of you know those whatchamacallit cord, paracord necklace or bracelet, and you can do that. I was gonna cut this out right here, so if I cut it right out, it'll be like that. See? Then you incorporate that in, just like this, just like this. You would incorporate that in, and then when you wear it, you'll pull it so it's stuck there, and it'll be the same thing, just like that. Because this design have holes in them, so you can take advantage of that hole to poke your 2 thing in. And then down here you can curl it so you can actually make, I'll make that separate video later too. I kind of like these design the best because it's easy and it's simple, you know, and it works because that's, remember, well, this should be the baby of original, so it would be like the original design. Okay, and right before I go, remember these? I said earlier, don't try to go advanced and do all this stuff because you're wasting it. You don't need to. I already did all the hard work for you, okay? These don't work, just to let you know. Most of these that I did in my early stage, it didn't really work too well. It's because, like I stated, the original design was the intention, and that's what you should stick. It is also easy. Don't try to go this route, trying to cheat. Cheating didn't work. That definitely does not work, okay? Then, trying to be creative and try to put it in here, right? The inside. But then it'll look all bulky and all ugly and stuff. See? So, trying to go this route, that route, this route, that route, I end up to be back to where I am, which is the original. And like I stated, if you make them too long, you can curl them up, or you can curl them this way, whatever it takes for you to have nice comfy right here. Okay. This was the longer version, but this is the sport version. This is about 40 coil, and it has a magnet. I probably do a tutorial for that later. I'm going to do a tutorial for this. I'm going to do a tutorial for the baby version or the sleep version. The sleep version or the baby version. The sleep version, you see how small it is. You don't want too much to taking out while you're sleeping. You shouldn't wear this when you're sleeping, but sometimes you have to, because you have too much. And then this is for our spinal cord. Okay. And right before I go, last but not least, I have invented something else. And this here, oh my, let me tell you a little bit of this. When you have to go to the bathroom in emergency, you can actually stop it. Furthermore, this, what's in here, will prove that these is 100% working. Yes. So my idea and my invention, this will prove my invention even further than what I did. Oh, you don't want to get into this world. I call it the evil version. There's something to that. Also too, as I stated in my one of my video, I said when all the electrical, either like the cells or the element inside your body, like water and stuff, when it goes into a decay or when it goes into split, because it does splits into your body, it does change it. That's called chemical change. And when electrons, because chemical change through electron, which means it gains or loss. And when that happens, it created gas. Okay? And that's how we get gas in our stomach. Yep. I made that huge discovery too. And I'm probably the first one in human history again to say that it's actually electron is what makes gas. Because it goes into a decay. When it goes into decay, it splits. It splits into what they call it alpha, beta, positive, negative, beta, and then, which is ions, that's what I call them, and gamma rays. Beta is what in here. Yup. So let's say the beta is a gas form. That will prove that I am actually able to remove beta particles from your body. Yes. Example. If your stomach's starting to go really sick, you put this on. And guess what happened? It minimizes it because it's trying to take the beta particles out. Amazing. You don't know yet. So when I invented that, that's when I knew. Okay, in many videos I did not expose that yet. I knew that I was able to remove beta particles out of our body, and also we were able to remove alpha particles. Okay, there's beta, there's alpha, beta positive, negative, alpha, that's a gas form, and gamma rays. And that's inside of all the nucleus, or what they call a nucleus, or before it goes into the decay, it will be protons, electrons, and neutral, or neutron. Well, in electrical world, we call it neutral. So that's what that does. And because of that invention, yes, but let me tell you, EMF people you do not like this whatsoever. But sometimes it will help. But you don't want to get into this world. Oh. It is only proof. I invented this to prove even further what I have discovered. Yup. Crazy as it sounds, but I will prove it to you even further, even though I have the testing videos right up here. I will prove to you even further how these things works. By that. You use that and you wear this. Oh boy. That's another video. But that's later on. When I introduce that, you will see. It will all make sense for you. But this video is only for variation, I would say variation of the Wonder Bracelet. Because I don't want you to go through this, go through that, and experiment this, experiment that. As you can see, I already did all the hard work already. No point. But you can, if you want to play around with, follow this video, and you'll be able to play around with them. But like I stated, no point. Because I already did the hard work for you already. Okay? So now, I'm going to go to bed because it's really late at night. And that's all I do. This is my bedtime bracelet. Look how small it is. I think it was like 15 or 22, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 20 little ones. Little tiny one. I put it on sorry, can't think of an hot man. I put it on screwdriver. And that's how I did. Okay? I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something from the video. And I will see you in the next video.